don't die tomorrow. Okay, bye.
You'd watch it and buy the merch too.
Feels like you're 6 years old in your bedroom, and then all of a sudden you're getting paid, and that's amazing.
Why is it always a thing?
Wasting about an hour of time trying to do Sir Pentious impressions for me.
Make it more country. I want to hear the country bumpkin in them.
You're watching convention coverage.
I'm Alex Brightman, and I play multiple roles on some shows that you seem to like. I play
The one and only Fizzeroli.
No, it's a...
Adam, which is just my regular voice.
And of course, the good boy himself, Sir Redemptious.
Okay, who are you guys?
Well, how do I follow that? Hi, guys. I'm Edward Bosco. You might have heard me in season 2 of Helluva Boss as Striker.
Yeah.
That's why it's weird sitting next to you. I don't know if we've ever actually met, but we fought a lot. It's
We
good.
haven't met.
Yeah, it's great.
We still haven't.
I also was in the pilot of Hazbin Hotel as Alastor, the radio demon. And that's me. How about you?
Hi, everyone. I'm Leslie Rodriguez Kritzer, and I play, Alastor, Rosie, on Hazbin Hotel.
Not to blow up Leslie's spot, but this is Leslie's first con, so please
Yeah, it is.
give her a warm welcome.
By the way,
Thank
I was texting with Viv, and she said to give you all of her love and to have fun.
Oh, yay. I love
I
her.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me anything.
Yeah.
No, she didn't mention you at all.
Whatever,
She didn't
Edward.
mention-
I have a question for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only 2 of you up here other than me.
Okay.
How did you meet Viv? Tell this story. We were talking a little bit,
yeah.
but I want to know how you hooked up with Viv, because you're one of the originals.
Correct. So, does anybody remember the very old animation that Viv did called Son of 666? Okay. So I played the devil in that. I broke the kid's guitar, and I'm an awful dad, obviously. But that was the first time that I'd ever worked with Viv, and that was for her junior thesis project. Fast forward a couple of years, she was doing auditions for this little indie show called Hazbin Hotel. And I ended up auditioning for that, and that was my avenue into working with her. And then I switched over to Helluva to do Striker in season 2. But yeah, it all started when she was in college, if you can believe it.
It's amazing to me that she started doing all this stuff when she was a fetus. It's
And
crazy.
her animation was still just as good back then.
Ridiculous.
It's insane.
Leslie,
Yes.
how did you get involved with this crazy universe?
I got an audition for Hazbin Hotel to play the character of Rosie.
How'd it go?
Clearly you bombed it, right?
Clearly it was terrible.
Yeah.
You know, I sent in my audition tape and I almost didn't get it in on time. Like I was running out of time and they were like, no, we extended the deadline, and I got it in right on time. And just submitted the voiceover audition and then booked it.
What you all don't
crazy.
realize, I don't think, I've told people this at our table, is that we send in, as actors that have agents and stuff, we send in countless
Hundreds.
countless
Over the
voiceover
years.
auditions and reels, and a lot of people come up and ask, like, how do I get into this stuff? First of all, you have to like be in it, which is great, but know that you are gonna, any yes that you get, any yes we've gotten, which is enough, is sitting on a mountain of no's. So to get stuff like this is so rare and so cool, and also to have it work the way this has worked with all of you guys, it's the coolest. Humbling's the wrong word. We're up here. It's very narcissistic. But it's very cool. So thank you all for coming out and supporting the show and what it means. Thank you. And I am putting in my bid to run for president. Sorry.
So we're not letting you off the hook, though. Hold on. I have a question for you two, because I don't want to let you guys off the hook.
Okay.
So you guys obviously know them from Hazbin and Helluva and all that good stuff, but they are also very successful Broadway actors. So my question to you guys, a little bit. What was the biggest transition from going live on stage to being able to do multiple takes in a booth for either one of you?
Well, I mean, it kind of is seamless because it's like the same thing. For me, it's sort of the same thing. We have copy and we're creating characters like we did in Beetlejuice or any character we've ever played in any show. So, you go in and the only difference in recording, at least in the way we did it, we weren't there in the booth with our scene partner. So anything I have with Alastor, singing or not, was just by myself. That's the only adjustment. So when people are like, oh, is it fun to record with each other? I said, we didn't record with each other. We, for the singing, like anything I sang with Alastor, I would hear him and then I'd come in when I was supposed to come in. But everything is isolated. So that's a testament to also the creators and the animators when they make it look and feel and sound like we're right there, just like this. So I think that would be the biggest adjustment.
I agree with Leslie, and also I use my body so much on stage. For those of you who have ever seen anything I've ever done, it's so physical and crazy. And I mean this, listen to me now, out of shape. So, so yes, it is miraculous that I can get off the ground half the time. But the studio is much more compact than a huge stage. And so having to have still be loud, but keep it compact is a muscle I still think I'm trying to flex. But that to me is the best part is that they're both musicals, and that's something we just both know, and that's nice. Leslie and I did workshops with Beetlejuice for 5 years together, and we've also been friends for a very long time. So it's also very cool to be in a business where you can just make with your friends. And
so fun.
Who out there is an actor? Who out there is a good actor?
You know what? I like the confidence. There we go.
I like it. Okay.
So I rewatched Hazbin, and I was endlessly impressed that Alex plays 3 different parts on one show.
Yeah.
My question is, how do you go in the booth, you're recording how do you do the consistency? What do we say? Continuity.
Continuity.
And choosing the voices of all 3 different people and making them all individual.
Richard Horvitz is one of the best directors I've ever worked with.
Ever.
So he keeps us consistent, which is unbelievable job. It's an unbelievable job. Even the idea that he tells us, okay, remember that you just ran here, in this scene, so you can't just be fine. You have to be out of breath. It's so amazing, especially when you don't have scene partners. How we've figured it out, it was a nightmare in the beginning because I just kept popping into different voices, is we do it energetically. So whatever energy I have, we do that part first.
Yeah.
And anything that will, waste my voice, I want to get those out of the way first so I can do the easier. Adam, we would always do last because it's my voice. But we would do Fizz first. We would do, then we'd get into Pentious stuff. And then, I would do all the other sort of ensemble-y sort of characters when we're all yelling, which is, by the way, the best part of being in a cartoon. Best part is doing what's called walla, which
walla.
is just basically at the end of a session, they just kind of open the lines up, record, and they just go, okay, now you're being punched, and you do 4, it's crazy. And it feels like you're 6 years old in your bedroom, and then all of a sudden you're getting paid, and that's amazing. I can't recommend it, but it's energetically, we found out. It's not just what makes sense, it's just what I can do on that day, because I do voices that tire me out.
Right.
Yeah.
What would Adam's and Sir Pentious' reactions be if Adam woke up as a sinner and learned Sir Pentious landed in heaven?
Okay, the context is that Adam is very pent up, and in this context, Adam is on life support. How, and he finds about Sir Pentious, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll get to that in a moment. When is the last time? I should have closed with that. I don't have anything funnier.
That was the winning line.
Thank you so much for coming.
That's.
Oh wow! I didn't even realize what I just said.
That was well done, though.
Come to my booth. There's more.
Yeah. Something about.
I can't believe I just said
Where are the kids that are here?
It's funnier that you didn't realize.
And then Pentious is, so pumped. I can't wait for you all to see season 2. The death scene is a lot, but things like that. I'm joking.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody dies in season 2.
Dude, spoilers.
Everybody, or they live. You know what I mean?
Wait, aren't they already dead?
That's right.
Oh, okay, we're good.
Do you think Sir Pentious misses the eggs when he's in heaven?
Well, of course, darling, yes. I can't do anything without my minions.
When I
he's
see
bored?
you in heaven.
Do you think he's bored?
He might be bored. The worst answer in the world.
He might
just be like, yeah, maybe, maybe not.
So
yeah,
there's no
sure.
time-
I mean, no, because he's never seen it. It's heaven. It's incredible. I don't know.
Has the direction that Alastor's gone been what you thought it was going to be?
Well, that's the nice thing is it doesn't matter what I think. But no, I think it was great. I think Amir's done an amazing job in the first season. I look forward to what he does for like the rest of the seasons. They've been crushing it. Like I love everything about the new show. So I have nothing but love.
That's very sweet.
Yeah. No, I mean the guy's good. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to people.
You're both very good, to be quite honest.
Well, one
real.
of us is.
That's right, and it's Edward Bosco. Okay.
No!
Amir.
No!
Amir.
Wait a second. Amir, I'm sorry. I tried.
Oh, this is being like video.
There are cameras out here.
I love you, Amir.
If anybody saw
Yes.
our
What's the protocol in the event of any leaks or anything? Like, what do you guys do?
Don't do it.
Okay.
Leaking?
Yeah,
You said
don't
leaking?
you don't talk
usually
about
you need a diaper, right? I mean, that's the. What are you talking
No,
about?
you
different
mean
kind of
you
leak.
mean like what do we do or say if we know about?
Yeah.
Like if it's out in the world and
Yeah.
people are talking about it?
Yeah.
I just stopped. I go. You're gonna get nothing more out of me, young man. If I or whatever, I just say nothing. I also like. I'm not privy to a lot of things. I'm not on social
Yeah.
media a lot, so I don't.
Smart.
Yeah, it's smart.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very smart.
How
Very
many
healthy.
people are not on social media? Liars. Okay, such liars.
I
Okay,
abandoned
not
my Twitter.
choice.
No. But yeah. I mean, I think also it is protocol. I think with like things like Amazon and like that. I think that we just sort of have to be. There's snipers at all these that will just take us out
Yeah.
if we say anything. But yeah, no. It's just sort of we just sort of ignore, kind of just let the show be. Also, why ruin anything? Why? What's the point? What's the point? What is the
It
point?
ruins
also-
it for the fans.
What is the point?
It's also a good way to get your career just canceled because if they can't trust you with information, they're not going to hire you. So
Yeah.
we just don't talk about it. I'll give you an example. So when Street Fighter V came out, Ed got leaked, the character that I played 3 days before we were supposed to talk about it. Capcom was very specific, like, don't talk about it. I don't care if your name's in the credits. You don't say a word. So for 3 days, I was tagged all over Twitter, and I did not say a word, even though I knew that it was out. Like, you just don't do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
And if anyone has leaked anything or has amplified any leaks, shame on you.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you and then sing
Nope.
it, and it would be
Nope.
great.
No.
I'll say it.
Go ahead.
Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Have a good day.
Love the hair. Very Troy Polamalu.
If you could have a spin-off of with any character you voice centered in it, in either Helluva Boss or Hazbin, which would you choose?
Adam, for sure.
Yeah.
Before he died.
Isn't that just how I met
Or
your mother?
did he? He did. Did he? He did.
Allegedly.
Did he?
He did die.
He did.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
He didn't. He did.
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe not, though. Adam.
Eve?
Are we supposed to wait, what?
Yeah.
Who would you
What
spin off?
what character would you spin
what
off?
one character that you play, Leslie, would you do a spin off of?
The only character.
What about one of your musical characters? We'll change it up. We'll make it more diverse.
One of the eggs.
There you go. Egg spin-off.
One of the eggs.
You'd
spin-off.
watch it and buy the merch too.
It would be called Franks for the Memories. Okay. That was way
Wait,
funnier
could you
than the react.
imagine? Wait, what's the movie that came out about the feelings? What was
About
the
the
Pixar?
feelings? Oh, Dune.
Inside Out. Can you
Out, too.
imagine Inside Out with all of our characters in
yeah.
it?
Oh my
That'd be
God.
And Dune.
Depressed, happy, anxious.
Dune 2. You seen it?
I've heard of it.
Rosie would be just the gaslighter. Okay.
I would definitely spin off Stryker. I want him to be like Chuck Norris. He's a bad.
I was in Oklahoma very recently, and there was a craft beer that was called Chug Norris.
Chuck Norris.
I'll show you later. I have a
that's
picture of it. I'll
fantastic.
show you all later.
Thank
Come to my
you.
table. I'll show you.
All right.
If Beetlejuice and Fizz met, how do you think that would go?
Whoa, controversial for some reason. Some people think. I think it would be nice. I think that Beetlejuice would be pretty confused. I think he'd be like, why do you have my voice?
I was gonna say no.
And
They
then
said
Fizzeroli's
Beatles.
like, wait a second, why do you have my voice? You know what I mean? And then they'd be like, that'd be great. And then they would start singing For the Longest Time by Billy Joel, harmonizing.
Such a good song.
One of the things that got me into Helluva and Hazbin originally was I didn't know a lot about it, but then I looked at the voice cast and I was like, oh my God, it's Beetlejuice. And my friends were like, huh? And
Excuse
I was like,
me?
no,
Who are your
it's
friends?
Beetlejuice from Broadway.
Wait
I
a
don't-
second, that's not Michael Keaton. What are
Yeah,
you talking
that's
about?
right.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you. And
it's
your
very
friends don't
sweet.
seem to know who I am.
Oh, they're
and
not my
so-
friends anymore. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly.
What does character work look like for you guys before you get in the booth? And then for the Broadway actors, how does character work change when you're like being physical on stage versus, you know, in the booth and you can't use your body?
I will say that for me, granted I've done very limited work in front of any kind of a camera or audience, I always act out physically with my body in the booth. I think Alex mentioned it earlier. There are just some people that no matter where you put them, whether it's behind a microphone or on a stage, they're gonna be very physical. And there's a person named Bob Bergen, who's the voice of Porky Pig, who always taught me, if you act the character, the voice will come. So you're not just focusing on what he sounds like, it's how are you moving, what are you doing? If you're throwing a punch, obviously don't hit the microphone if you're not on stage, but if you want to put a little something into it to make it, is a little bit better than, like there's just something else to it. There's only two kinds of sounds, guys. Either you're pooping or and that's it. All right, I get it.
We all heard it too.
Correct.
We all loved it.
But yeah, so for me, I feel like if I were to do more stage stuff, it wouldn't be much different. I'd be able to be bigger on stage because I'm not worrying about knocking over a mic. I can do this, and you would still hear me. But for me, I'm gonna be physical no matter what I'm doing.
Well, you know, specifically like for Rosie, when I got the audition, I already had a picture of what she looked like. So, you know, they had an animated, beautiful picture of Rosie. So in my mind, you know, I see the hat, I see the clothes, I kind of imagine, and they have a little description with each of these characters, you know, what kind of world does she live in? Well, she's old-timey, right? She has that like old school accent. She's not gonna have a modern accent like some of the other characters do. So, you know, you pick up those little clues from what you're given. And then as far as in the booth, yeah, the way I hold myself, everything that we're talking about, your voice is affected by your body. It's not separate. So all of those things, like you were just saying, are connected. And then on stage, it's basically the same thing, except you see me. You really see me. I mean, I'm behind a voice of this animated person, but on stage, I get to fully embody it. And this whole thing is what you're getting. So then that with costume and makeup and all of the stuff, it's magic. That's what, I mean, I love theater the most. But voicing Rosie has been really cool because, you know, you're like, oh, so I get to be behind this thing that already exists, you know. So I don't know.
It's cool to hide. I think that sometimes we like the more makeup you put on, hide behind a mask, hide behind a booth. There is like a bit of a freedom to be weirder because you're not like putting your actual face out there, which is tough. It's risky. It's hard to do that. If you've ever been on stage, it's very hard. My thing, I do the same thing for both things, and it's very specific, and I teach this a lot too, and I just think it's a nice thing. If it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I've played a lot of weird roles, like ones that actually don't really exist in real life, so very hard to like be tangible to like, oh, what would it be if? So I try to find the humanity in myself in the character, and this is the example, the very short example is for Beetlejuice. It took a long time to figure out what kind of Beetlejuice this was, and for the first number of times, he was way too fratty, way too weird, way too predatory, really unlikable from the top, and the one that is on stage is arguably pretty charming. I think it came, you know, the character, and it came from this discussion of like, I can't possibly know what it feels like to be a millennia old and a demon and all this stuff. But what we found was I do know what it feels like to not feel seen, to not feel like recognized for who I am, and how do I combat that? Oh, by trying to be funny, by trying to be charming. So like my version of that was, what would Alex do in this circumstance? Forgetting all the demon stuff, I'm not seen, I wanna be alive, and I'm not. That's emotional. And so I go from like me in a certain set of circumstances, to me that's acting. And so that's very helpful in the booth too.
It also helps when you have great writing, great team behind you, and also like for theater, you're in the room. So like when we worked on Beetlejuice for all these years, you're throwing ideas out in the moment. You get to spend so much time, and you craft your performance. I mean, that you're right. It took years, and
5 to get it to Broadway.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
What was your funniest moment in the recording booth?
It happens every single time I'm in the recording booth, and it is Richard Horvitz wasting about an hour of time trying to do Sir Pentious impressions for me. And it kills me every time. He's so bad at it, and he so loves Sir Pentious, and he does it in other people's sessions too. And it's just so annoying and great. But no, that is always the funniest moment when I'm in the middle of a take and I go, Miss Baum! Like, Richard, we're literally recording. He doesn't know he's the best. Richard's the craziest.
That's so dumb. I love it. Oh my God. So for Stryker, I have a similar thing with Richard. He'll come over the talkback and he'll just go, Mike, and more country. I want to hear the country bumpkin in them. And I'm like, yes, sir. Absolutely. With Alastor, though, it was the whole jambalaya line at the very end of the pilot. That was all ad-libbed. It wasn't in the script. Viv basically said, we're going to pan up from the hotel. I need Alastor to say something when he's walking away. Go. And so that's what we came up with. And she was like, that was funny. I think it's going to make it. So yeah, that was, yeah.
Mine's really boring, but it's all the Wallace stuff. It's all the crowds, like Richard.
Wallace super fun.
Richard going, yeah, so we want you just going like, yeah, man, that's not fair.
Yeah,
and then I'd have to I basically just imitated Richard. He would just tell me what to do. Or the screams. He'd be like, okay, I need a loud scream. Like, ah! And then I'd have to do it again. And I'm like, this is not good. You guys, I'm fine. There's a martini waiting for me somewhere.
This is not really a spoiler, and then we'll get to the next question, but there's all these crowd scenes and we're just sort of led to just sort of do you're never gonna really hear pick stuff out, but I've decided that for upcoming, and I won't tell you which show because there's lots of crowd scenes, that there's a runner I play an ensemble guy who is constantly, I think he forgot his keys or something like that. And in the crowd scenes, they're like, boo, boo. And I'm like, I also forgot my keys. And he just keeps saying that throughout the crowd scenes through the series, I think.
My keys.
It'll never make it in now that I said it, but I had so much fun just sort of putting that in. And we got a big laugh out of that. Not now, but, later. You'll see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
What is your favorite moment from the entirety of any show, or Helluva or Hazbin?
Oh, I was like, any show ever? My goodness.
The finale of Seinfeld.
Okay, so for Stryker, it's when he went crazy trying to kidnap everybody, and one of my favorite lines in the whole show is, why is it always a sex thing? And I don't know what it is about him being unhinged, but he's got a little joker in him, and I really, really appreciate that about him. But when we did the pilot for Alastor, the part where he makes a deal with Charlie, so it's a deal then, the way they animated that with the green flames and everything, and then seeing how they redid it in the new show, that's always been one of my favorite moments because it really highlights him as a deal maker.
Scary.
And the animation sells it as much as any performance that you could do. So it's really cool.
I loved when Charlie and Rosie had a moment. Charlie's upset about Vaggie every time I want to say the name wrong. About how she lied and she didn't know about her past, and that Rosie said to her, well, isn't this all about redemption? Isn't that what your hotel is all about? And how she should give her a second chance, which I found very touching after I watched it again. So yeah, that was my favorite moment when they had that little exchange.
I love that big sort of group number that starts with Sarah and Emily. You didn't know in the big sort of big episode. I like that because we all get involved kind of in the singing, and it feels the most musical theater to me. It is such a musical theater thing to have that many people chiming in, and I also just think Patina sings off.
Oh my God.
It's just, I know, Patina Miller, ridiculous. I just think it's such a cool moment to have musicalized. It originally wasn't going to be so musicalized, I think Sam and Andrew said, and they just started figuring, oh, this is actually really cool. This is going to be all sort of this big canon kind of thing. So yeah, that's it. And also I think Jessica Voss sings off, and I love listening to her voice.
Who doesn't sing their ass off?
Let's see. Not a fan of Blake's voice. No, I'm kidding.
You know what other song that I really love is Darren's song, the Heaven song.
Yeah!
It's so fun.
Do you guys know that's Darren Criss, right? That sings Welcome to Heaven? Okay.
It's so fun. I love that.
Darren is in my phone. We met at the off-Broadway opening of Dear Evan Hansen before we went to Broadway. And we're birthday buddies. We have the same birthday, and he put his number in my phone to sort of keep in touch. And he wrote his name down in it. I didn't see what he wrote down, and then he texted me the next day, and it comes up, and it just says Darren Chris Poop, but with like 6 O's, and I've never changed it. And so I just text him. I go,
Darren
"What up,
Chris
Poop?"
Poop.
You know what I'm saying? Congrats on your new kid, Poop. All right. It's not a great story, but it's real.
It works here.
Yeah, not
It's a
everything
safe
is
place.
gold.
Guys, what's your favorite character design from Helluva Boss or Hazbin Hotel?
Only because it's fresh in my mind. I really enjoy the design of Mammon.
Yeah.
I just think he's so cool and interesting. I mean, he's a piece of shit, but he's interesting. I mean, all the stuff where he disappears and the dollar signs and the thing. I just think his whole kind of thing is designed perfectly. That's my answer.
I love Vaggie. Is it?
Yeah.
Vaggie.
That's really good.
Every time I want to say it a different way. Every time.
Well, it is her name.
She does in the. But I love her design. I think it's so cool.
The X
If
across
I had
the
a
X.
cosplay, that's who I'd dress up as.
We're, by the way, thinking about coming to some of these cons and cosplay all of a sudden.
I would.
Wouldn't
hold
it be
on.
fun?
You dressed up as Fizz? I'd
I
pay
would
to
do
see
it.
it.
No, I'm not going to dress up as Fizz. That's way too. Okay, fine, I might.
Thank you. Make him do it. That'd be great,
Yeah, that's
right?
not how. No,
Yeah.
that's not how this
Yes.
works.
Yes.
That's not how this works.
Yeah.
That's not how. It's like
Good.
that's like signing a petition.
No,
They
that's
just they're not. They're
democracy.
just
We're
for
good.
you.
No, it was the council has voted.
Okay, fine, I'll do it.
How about you?
So I'm biased. I really think Fizz looks cool, and I know Alex won't say his own character, so Fizz for me is great. I also really like Lucifer's design.
Oh,
I think he looks really cool.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Thanks for being so kind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What would your character's favorite musical be? And no Beetlejuice. No Beetlejuice, because that's so obvious.
Wow. This is going to come out of left field a little bit, but I think it works. I think Stryker would really like Avenue Q. I don't know. It feels like his kind of a show. I don't know how you could pick anything other than Annie for Alastor, though. Like, I think that just fits too.
I think Rosie would like Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Hey! All right.
Adam would love Wicked. And then Fizz would love
Wicked.
And Sir Pentious would love
Wicked.
No. Comedy comes in threes, too obvious.
Dear Evan Hansen. Because we love high school trauma.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Vivian.
So High School Musical.
Thank you.
Oh, that'd be a good one. High School Musical for Sir Pentious.
Yeah.
I watched that, and I think I think you can't see it anymore. I watched it really high with my wife.
Perfect.
I had never seen it, and I was like 5 years ago, and my wife filmed me watching it, and it was one of the funniest watchbacks. I'm crying, and we did Grease as well, the movie Grease.
Yes.
And I was like, they're all 50. I'm like crying, laughing. All right, this is so off the subject.
That's
Yes.
fantastic.
Alex, what is your favorite line as Sir Pentious?
One of my favorite lines that's kind of, I think, again, pretty unsung is, please don't die tomorrow, okay, bye. The cherry bomb. And then obviously when he gains his, his mojo and brings his, big energy to the end of the war, and he says, I love you, Miss Cherry Bomb, remember me!
Oh my God, remember me. I love that.
It's it's satisfying to do that voice. Adam is the most satisfying to do, because I'd be crucified if I said anywhere else.
Now, if you were to assign your character to a certain food, snack, or drink, what do you think they would be?
Alastor would be jambalaya.
Love it.
Martini.
Yeah. To Broadway actors, martinis are food.
Oh, did you say drink or food?
I did say food
Medicine.
or drink.
I want alcohol right now. That's why I'm thinking about it.
It's just a confession. I want alcohol.
I would like
right
a cocktail.
Now, right now.
It is happy hour at the convention.
It's happy hour everywhere sometimes.
Exactly.
Adam, queso, Sir Pentious, pico de gallo, and Fizz guacamole.
Sushi.
I will not be going into why.
Sushi.
Okay.
There you go.
Of all the roles that you have played in the past, which ones do you think, like of their characterization, specific things about them, what do you think from your past characters you've taken the most and added to your current performance? Alex, your answer is obvious.
It's a great question, though, and I don't know if it's that obvious. I don't think it's that obvious.
The voice a little.
Yeah, maybe it's a little obvious, but
I'm good.
God, that's a great question. Can someone else go first?
So, no. So it's not a different character. So when I played Alastor in the pilot, a lot of people don't know my background was in radio already. So when he was supposed to be like an old school radio host, I took a lot of what I did on the radio, and because I had studied a lot of that old timey like 20s, 30s, 40s sound, where it was kind of transatlantic, it didn't sound British, but it wasn't really how we speak now. Being able to put that on him and bring that to him naturally, because I had already studied that was something that I could bring from my own experiences and just kind of put over the top of him on top of all of the other crazy shenanigans that he did. Yeah. So for me, that was really cool as somebody who was into radio to play the radio demon in the pilot. It was an absolute blast. Yeah.
That was totally cool.
I think, it's funny. I have listened to Barbra Streisand sing the Funny Girl score forever, and I played Fanny Bryce in Funny Girl, and I think Barbra Streisand was like there when I was reading the, you know what I mean? So I think that was her voice a little bit with that old-timey sound, New York sound, just informed it, for me.
And you were right, it's Beetlejuice.
There you go.
I can't do, but yes, it is that, probably. Yeah, probably.
If you could have voiced any other character in your respective shows, either Helluva Boss or Hazbin, I guess, who would you have voiced?
So if you've seen me at other cons, you know that I'm not just pandering to who's on the stage, but in Helluva Boss, I would love to take a crack at Fizzeroli.
Go ahead.
Because I think right now...
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? It's good. It's very good. It is good. I try, I'm trying my best. It's just, it sucks. Life sucks. It always sucks. It needs a little more chainsaw to it, but it's all right. That's probably right.
That's what we call it in the studio, by the way. Richard sometimes goes, there's not enough chainsaw in it.
Chainsaw?
Yeah, this part. This part. Yeah.
Okay. I got to work on that. For Hazbin, probably Lucifer at this point. Yeah. He's such a dork. And I can't say that I like him because I'm not supposed to like him as an Alastor fan, but as a normal fan of the show, he's great and a dork, and for all of his flaws, he genuinely cares. He's just bad at stuff. And there's something endearing about that. Maybe relatable a little bit.
I just want to sing Charlie's songs, all of them. I mean, really, she has such good material. She just gets, I would just love to sing, she gets to sing the best stuff, so she's amazing. Erica's amazing.
I'd like to voice my boyfriend, Ozzy. I will never have,
do it.
I will never.
Do it.
I don't have,
do it.
My voice is very high.
That's why, do it anyway.
Okay, here's how I would do Ozzy.
Okay.
Hello, love. My name is Ozzy. Just for some reason.
You're hired.
If you had to pick between live theater performance on stage in Broadway or doing voiceover, which would you choose and why?
I live and die for the stage. That's where my heart will always be. I am a musical theater kid through and through. I was, bullied like everybody else. And by the way, I'm 37. Thank you. And
you're a liar.
I am. I know I look worse, but
that's not what I
appreciate that. But I did, and so did Leslie, did theater when it, and I mean this, wasn't cool. It was like, there wasn't a YouTube where you could see shows and go, it is cool, I don't live there, but it's cool. There was none of that, and so it wasn't cool. So it took a lot of guts to do that stuff and be vulnerable, and so it's cool that it's paid off. But theater is like what I am married to. Voiceover is my mistress. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I ditto Alex. I mean, I found my tribe when I started doing, plays in middle school and especially high school. That's where I belonged, and that's where I've stayed. I'm a nerd. I'm a theater nerd forever, and that's what I love it.
Yeah. Have you done theater, Edward?
What is theater?
There you go.
Yeah.
God bless.
It's some uncool
I'm
thing
awful at memorizing lines. So also I have a face that's made for radio, so I can't. It's just not going to happen.
Perfect for Alastor.
No, I was a radio host, so I've spent all my life behind a microphone, so I'm very comfortable being behind it. Would I love to try it? Sure, but I see the amount of work that it takes just to even get an opportunity to audition on Broadway. It's like trying to play in the major leagues when you've never played single A ball.
And by the way, it's still scary for us. When we
Terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Every day when we're in a show, it's like, is it still there? Okay.
Here's a fun one, and this is Beetlejuice kind of friendly. And are you the only question? Hilarious.
They get to sit down.
Anyone that's like, how do you get rid of nerves? everyone in Beetlejuice was, around the same age, barring like a Lydia here or there. But we're all sort of like, done this before and been in shows. And I wish that all of you could see what it looks like backstage before a show starts, because we're just chit-chatting, whatever. There's 2,000 people out. Okay, who cares? We do this 8 times a week, fine. And then the second the stage manager goes, stand by, everybody, which means literally the show's about to start, everybody goes, oh my God, like freaking out as if like their parents are in the front row.
17 buttholes clenching all at the same time.
27 buttholes, yeah.
There we go.
Clenching all at once.
It's so true.
Yeah,
We're all like, I don't know if I want to go for dinner. Okay.
Oh, it's crazy. I'm sweating thinking about it. I'm doing a show next month, and it's like I haven't been on stage in a while, and it feels every time like boxing. If you don't keep your hands up, you don't know how to do it anymore. And so I might not be good in the next thing.
How do you keep your vocal cords from getting ruined when you're doing voices?
Good question.
It's like this is the same question as like, how did you lose the weight? It's like there's no special reason. It's work and work. And so it's like, the same diet and exercise. It's keeping everything healthy all the time because you never know when you're going to record.
Yep.
It's water. It's steaming. It's a full-time job basically without getting paid. It's like you keep your body and voice in the right way. So
I will also say know your instrument.
Yeah.
Not every violin or tuba or whatever is built the same way.
That's right.
Just because you see somebody else that can do something or scream or do like a super gravelly voice for 4 hours and singing it doesn't mean that your chords are built that way, but there's other stuff that it can do.
Yeah.
So just knowing what you're capable of and what you're not will save you from hurting yourself, because you have to be able to maintain anything that you do.
Yeah, same thing. Just really understanding your voice, what you're capable of doing and not pushing, just really, but you only can know that when you've gone too far, and then you're like, oh, that's where my breaking point is. So, yeah.
Hey, everybody, thank you so much for being here.